Hey guys, it's Lovable Chevy. Thought that I'd give you a detailed video of what the handy gear is all about. Um, that's the handy gear, and everything that's up here is in it. There's obviously a Game Gear. This is what the Game Gear board is. It's flipped upside down in the handy gear, but obviously I used some of the Game Gear casing since they look almost exactly alike. I did use a ZN40 case, and I cut out for the screen and I put the Game Gear casing in it, and on the back I put in the cartridge slot, and then also the Master Gear converter for the Sega Master System games, and then it's a Zenith screen, same as the PS1 screen, 5 inches, and I have two of this exact battery in there. It's a pretty hefty battery. It's a 5700 mAh, but with a protection circuit and stuff so that it doesn't blow up, because that would be really bad. Anyway, to get video out on the Game Gear, it's not, you can't do it just on its own. So that's why this project took me a while, because my first attempt at doing it didn't work. I made this complex circuit board, as you can see. I could only ever get a black and white video out, which just frustrated me to no end, and I couldn't figure out what's wrong with it or whatever. I remade it like 3 times. I know I had it made right, so whatever. So it went on hold for quite a while, and then I noticed a while later the guy who I got that schematic from, he started making his own pre-made boards. And this board is so much better because the other one that you self-make only does RGB out, but this one does S-video and composite. But since the PS1 screen accepts RGB, that's what the handy gear is hooked up with, is RGB. But this handy thing would make it easier to hook up to one's TV if you wanted to. But it's really easy. He has a nice little diagram showing you what's what on his site and stuff, and it wasn't too terribly expensive. Saved me a lot of time of trying to figure out what was wrong with this one, and it saved me a lot of more frustration. But anyway, some size comparisons. Obviously, since I used the same casing as what I did for the Handy Duo, they're about the same size. But they're actually about the same thickness. It's just that with the way that the handy gear is, that it sits at an angle because of the different sizes of the card slots. But yeah, they're basically about the same size, since they're basically about the same outsides. So there's the PSP compared to it obviously is a lot smaller, and the DS, of course, which is quite a bit smaller. Smaller screen though, but yeah. And interestingly, this converter board thing, it displays the Game Gear games only in about the middle half of the screen, so it doesn't take up the whole screen. SMS games do play full screen, and there's a very few select Game Gear games that display in SMS mode. The only one that I am completely 100% sure on is Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, which I'll go ahead and show you. There you go. You can see that it takes up the whole screen. I don't know why there's a few games. I don't know if this is just a direct port of the SMS one, or I'm not sure, but it does take up the whole screen. And apparently there's a few other games that do that. It's a little odd, but otherwise normally it only takes up the middle half, even though oftentimes the border will end up being the color of whatever is the main color on the screen. See, only on the middle half of the screen. So it's about the same size as the Game Gear screen. It's just that this is a lot clearer. So there's the actual Game Gear screen with it, but they're about the same size, but this one is much clearer and not nearly as blurry and much better backlighting. And a Sega Master System game goes in the top. Obviously, since the Master Gear converter is just hardwired on, I cannot have both games in at the same time, or else it won't read either one. And it takes up the whole screen. This is a bad one to pick. It's kind of dark. But yeah, I have the brightness buttons over here like they are on the Game Gear. They do work. See, going down, going up. And then up here is the power switch and the power, or the charger. This is the extension port. It does work. It's hard for me to show that it works because I don't actually have a working Game Gear, so it's kind of annoying. But headphone jack and the volume buttons, which also work. As you can see, going down, going up. And if you did notice, there's 2 speaker grills on this one because there actually is stereo sound on a Game Gear. For some reason, they only decided to put 1 speaker in the normal Game Gear. But anyway, that is just what the Handy Gear is all about. And so basically, I have the coolest Game Gear that there is in the world right now. So I like it, and I'm gonna get busy playing it. Thanks.